Welcome to the culture of New York basketball. The metro area is the mecca of basketball in the minds of many. Its iconic brand of streetball is renowned around the world. There's a long list of legends who've come out of these parts, but there's also an even longer list of should'ves that never got their shot. Dribble and Dimes is a happy place for the hoops junkie. This is where the legendary tales and the unknown stories will reside. We'll be speaking with a variety of guests from all over, whose ties to the New York game gives them a unique perspective to share. I'm Manny Digital, and along with my co-host Emilio the Poet, we're going to take you off the bench and into the culture of New York area hoops. So lace up and listen to Dribble and Dimes.
You gotta handle the rock with flair and rhythm if you want to be judged on wood grain and concrete courts in New York. This ain't no nickel and dime. It's Dribble and Dimes, where scoring never looked this good, I guarantee it. But was your reputation built from the playground up? Or did you call next and they took that ish? Or cause you weren't as fast as police and ambulance sirens? Or as loud as Mr. Softy Ice Cream? No. You see, this is New York City hoops in prime time. As beautiful as the skyline, it's Dribble and Dimes.
This man hails from Brownsville, Brooklyn. He caught the hoops bug watching pros such as World B. Free and Pearl Washington play basketball right at his doorstep in Howard Park. He attended and played at Kareem's alma mater, Power Memorial Academy, and also attended Powerhouse Prep School Laurinburg Institute, which produced playground legend Earl the Goat Manigault and the second most championship ring-wearing NBA player of all time, Sam Jones. He's also the three-time co-host of the year on the I Am Rapaport Podcast and the host of the upcoming This, That, and the Third podcast. Let's rap with the homie G Moody on this episode of Dribble and Dimes. So, welcome to Dribble and Dimes. My name is Manny Digital.
This is Emilio the Poet.
And before we have our guests grace the microphone, I just want to say a few choice words about who this person is. So he's a Brooklyn native.
BK, stand up.
Yeah, BK, stand up. We're in the Bronx right now. So off top, that's kind of oxymoronic because Brooklyn people tend not to go to the Bronx and vice versa. So that right there becomes a topic of discussion.
Yeah, East Coast, West Coast.
You may know him as the three-time co-host of the year on the I Am Rapaport Podcast, smash hit. Super global. I think you guys are ranked pretty highly in Australia, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, number one.
And throughout the world. Yeah, and I mean, by the sound of his voice, for those of you who know, that is G Moody.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bite Michael Rapaport and say G Moody, that sounds like duty.
Last name rhymes with.
Yeah, sorry, last name rhymes with duty. No disrespect, but I think it's the funniest shit ever.
Yeah, everybody likes this.
So welcome. First, I mean, Emilio and I were very grateful for you to join us.
No doubt. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. So for those that don't know, and I guess we'll just educate the masses here. So Mr. Moody has been a staple, I think, throughout media over the last 4.5 years through this podcast.
Yes.
You also have had your fair share of basketball. A pretty nice career from what I gather.
Yeah, man. Yeah, playing ball. Yep.
Yeah, so we want to dive into that, and I know you got a lot of opinions on the state of basketball generally.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in that too.
Yeah, let's do it.
But I want to make sure that we touch on the topic of New York culture, as it relates to basketball, because that is the premise of what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But we can go, pro and whatever, because it's timely. I mean, we'll talk about this down the road on this podcast, but we've got the Jimmy Butler situation that's going down in the NBA right now.
Yes.
The Knicks and the Nets potentially, from what it sounds like, are in contention to swoop them up, but who the hell knows? I mean, things go crazy.
Yeah.
So I would definitely love to get your opinion on that. But why don't we begin, I guess, with how you got introduced to the game of basketball here in the city of New York?
Growing up in Brownsville, Brooklyn, Howard houses, I used to come outside. It was like 77. I'm like 9 years old, whatever. And I went to the park I didn't know too many people around my way. So I went there and I see people playing basketball. And I saw one guy who was just better than everybody else. And it was World Be Free, you know. So his talent level, me seeing how good he was versus everyone else that he was playing with, made me love the game of basketball and made me want to play. And also coming outside, watching Pearl Washington. You know, these people are in high school. And every summer, you know, World B would come back home and he'd be playing with cats around the way, full courts, who were good in high school. You know, this is when basketball in New York City was like the mecca of high school. So he's in the NBA and he's playing against high school kids, but these kids are not scrubs.
Right.
So he's actually working out. Pearl Washington was in high school. So me just coming outside around the way, going to the park so I could play, and then witnessing the talent of an NBA player made me go, man, you know, I want to play this, and I want to look as good as World is shooting. And so I was introduced to it, just coming outside and seeing an NBA player in my park.
So you were spoiled.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah.
You had
Crazy.
one of the top players probably in the game at that time.
He was at his
at your doorstep.
He was at his prime. It was 79, 78. I used to see him every day. They used to be playing early in the morning. I used to come outside 8 a.m. And there was some other pros too that was he would bring from the 76ers and stuff. They would play. Wow. It would be like camp in the summer.
And what was the name of that park?
Howard Park. Howard House.
So it was right in the project.
In the project, yeah.
Got you. So in our last episode, we had a gentleman by the name of Darren Quinlan, who goes by the name Mr. Q. He at the PAL here in the Bronx at Webster PAL.
Right.
He would play. He would be kind of like the college athlete that would play, you know, practice with people like Pearl Washington.
Yeah.
Right, the pros and
you know, the McRae brothers, like a bunch of
Scooter
cats.
and Rodney.
Yeah.
Mount Vernon.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So he did mention, it's funny, like how you weave things together, and that wasn't intentional. He mentioned also Pearl Washington and you know, how dynamic the guy was.
That guy was like the Beatles, man. I was 10 and I had some guys from around my block that played ball, and they let me troop along. So I used to go to those games, the Wheelchair Classic, a lot of those tournaments in Coney Island. I used to be riding the train with them. And Pearl, it was like really like the Beatles were following this dude, like the fans, and he would just put on a show everywhere. He was really phenomenal. And I saw it.
And he was on the train.
Yup.
So I know listening to the I Am Rapaport podcast, there was a big stink about LeBron riding the train for the first time. I think it was last season, right?
Yeah, he did it for aesthetic purposes.
Right.
But Pearl and all those guys, we had to get on the train.
Right.
We had no
That's how y'all
choice.
moved around.
Right.
Yeah, and it was dangerous then too.
But let me ask you a question. Before you go to the park, you see World Be Free. What was your relationship with basketball at that time? Like, were you in it, or were you like?
I wasn't in it. I was watching it on TV. It was tape delay. The finals was tape delay, and I would just come outside and shoot hoops.
Okay.
But then the older guys played, and then I saw World. I said, man, you could actually get that good if you keep playing this game.
Wow.
So to see an NBA player at 10 outside really, really bugged me out. As far as like, damn, he was so much better than everyone else.
Right.
So, I mean, and then Pearl with the handle, it was just crazy.
I can imagine.
It was like, I was like sitting down in the park watching this.
That's crazy.
And everybody used to come to Howard Park because of the NBA players.
Right.
So it was always full. I wish we had cameras. It was packed. People was on the fences. Man, that's how I got my introduction into basketball.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my question is like Rucker Park, for example.
Yeah, Harlem.
I'm just trying to be like, if you could picture that, it gets crowded NBA players. Is it something like that to where like people are falling over each other to watch?
Yeah, I mean, like certain time in the afternoon when World would be and his friends or some NBA players, they would call next. Mm-hmm. That's when people would just crowd around because you're watching high level basketball. It wasn't like he was playing with scrubs either. These cats were all city in high school. My man Traj, my man Derek Givens, my man So many. James Majors
Okay.
that went to Seton Hall, they all would be out there playing game after game, and I was just part of the audience.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really like a professional thing.
That's dope.
So you were introduced. I call it the cheat code, right? So you caught like the cream of the crop right outside your door.
Yep.
And how old were you roughly? You said around 10, 9 years
Around
old?
10. Yeah, I came outside like 10, 9, and that's when I saw it.
And then so you rolled around, played around the block and whatnot. But
Yeah.
then when did you fall into it where now, in high school and beyond, like it became like a habit?
Well, after that, a couple of summers I just playing to get my talent up, get better at it. 1979, 1980, I played PAL in Brooklyn. So we used to play these little games, go to Red Hook. So like a little neighborhood team, police athletic league. So they would take us as kids and we'd go Red Hook, Brooklyn, play different police athletic leagues. Then you just keep playing. And then Brownsville Jets, BRC, Greg Jocko Jackson was one of my first coaches. He played for the Knicks. He was World Beat 3's teammate at Guilford, his college. So he took a liking to us. So all of us, the kids from my projects, he would take us all around and we'd be playing against older kids. Like we were 11, 12, we're playing against 16, 17-year-old kids.
So that was like a makeshift travel team that you guys ended up creating?
Yeah, because Jocko is from Brownsville.
Okay.
He made the NBA, he played for the Phoenix Suns and the New York Knicks. And when he came back home, he worked at the Brownsville Recreation Center and he would have tryouts. So me and my friends, we all came and he just picked us. So it was just us.
Some random, just because you were from the neighborhood.
Yeah, and we all came down to the gym together, and I think he noticed that.
Got it.
So out of all those kids, he picked us, and we used to go all around to play the contacts he made in the NBA from like coaches, Philadelphia, Allentown, Pennsylvania. He would take us, Rhode Island, we would go there, destroy them kids. and that's how we started. That's how I got with ball, just constantly playing, sun up to sun down.
So was that moment when Jocko kind of saw y'all come together and was like, you know what, we're gonna do something with these kids? Was that the moment you think where, granted, you're working yourself up, leveling up, trying to get your skills up?
Yep.
Was that the moment where you started to see, oh man, like there's more to this than just me going to the park outside my house? And because you mentioned you're going to Rhode Island,
right?
That's got to be cool.
Oh hell yeah,
right?
Yeah, and just going around the city at first, like different parks. I had a little jitters because we just all played in our park, but then we started going other places, and we're kids. We started seeing audiences watch us, so. It gets you indoctrinated into the culture of basketball. And I began to see this game actually can take you from these neighborhoods that, I didn't think my neighborhood was so bad. I just loved basketball.
Right.
But Jocko, you're going to different neighborhoods. You're seeing different cultures. You're seeing different ethnicities. So basketball kind of formed me I don't have to stay around the way. Basketball can take me all different places. And that's exactly what it did, man. It opened my eyes because if I didn't have the love of basketball, where would I be? I'd just be in Brownsville,
right?
So
it expanded your horizon.
Yeah,
early.
absolutely. And you meet all types of people that I'm still friends with.
That's so cool.
That's dope.
Where did it take you? What was your experiences like? Did you further your education because of it?
Yeah, after Brownsville Jets, I played for the Broncos, the Madison Square Broncos. So I was 13. That's where I met Rapaport.
Nice.
That's where I met Michael Rapaport.
That's the Madison Square Boys and Girls Club, right?
Yeah, on 28th, I think. It was on 28th and 2nd. So my mother didn't know I was taking the train. So after school, junior high school, the trains were 50 cents at that time.
Right.
And instead of coming home, I would go to Manhattan. I'd sneak to Manhattan because dude in my gym class said, yo, go to the Broncos. That's where competition is. So I got on the train, went by myself.
Time out. Your boy was leave Brooklyn because the comp is in downtown Manhattan.
Yeah, because I was killing gym class in junior high school. I was ill at it. So he was like, yo, shorty, you nice. Go to the Broncos. I said, what's the Broncos? He said, yo, it's in Manhattan. Yo, my man Kenny, he's there. He gonna see you. That was Kenny Anderson he was talking about.
Oh,
Chibs?
I didn't know that.
We met him.
Chibs.
Yeah, we met him.
So I get there, and I think I'm nice, right? I said, man, I'm nice. I see this left-handed kid. This kid is dribbling with 2 balls. Nobody can stop him. We had a drill where you dribble, and it's like you dribble, I dribble, and we try to take the ball from one another
While dribbling.
Yeah, nobody could take it. That dude was like an NBA player at 14.
Wow.
I saw him. I couldn't believe it, and I was like, "Yo, I'm good, but I ain't that nice."
Right.
Carlton Screen was there. Paco from he went to Providence.
Okay.
So it was just a place where you took your talents to measure them
Right.
against other parts of the city rather than just around your way.
Right.
So I went there. I made the team. I was playing on the team with Kenny Anderson. We were like 13, 14, whatever. And then after that got me to go into Powell Memorial based on my play and based on people seeing me. So basketball opened up everything for me as far as New York City.
Wait, let me ask you a question. What positions did you play?
It was I had a scoring ability, but I played 1 and 2. But most of the time, the coaches always put me at 2,
Right.
because my mind, as a point guard, your mind is supposed to be distributed.
Mm-hmm.
I had a knack for putting the ball in.
Nice.
And
Is that another way to say that you was
chucker? Nah. My talent from growing up around the way and playing. I had a talent for scoring. I wasn't a pass first.
Right. You didn't know.
So the coaches say, "Yo, this dude, this little skinny dude, this is a scorer."
Right.
So they put me in the right place. But I could do that.
Right.
As I got older, I said, man, the game is about passing.
Right.
If you're a point guard.
Right.
You mess up the game if it's some shoot first. A la Russell Westbrook.
right.
Oh, we got something to talk
See?
about.
We're gonna talk
We
about
get
that.
into all that.
So you were Westbrook before Westbrook? Is that
I wasn't that bad.
Okay.
I wasn't that bad. I had some self-awareness about
Good.
the teammates and shit.
Good. You knew that there was 4 other players on your team.
He has no conscience.
He was like, yo,
No.
it's me in the basket.
Yeah.
Yo, but first of all, shout out to Kenny A. Yo, Russell, don't take this personal, Russell, man. We got your back.
Mr.
actually-
Chibs, left frack.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yo,
Shout
that's
you out.
it's Kareem and him as the top New York players of all time.
We're gonna get there.
All right,
We're gonna get there.
All right,
I want
okay.
your list. I want your
All
Oh,
right.
yes.
But,
Yes,
but
I
wait,
heard about it.
but I want to go back to the culture. So as
Okay.
you're going, so we're at Madison Boys and Girls Club.
Yes.
You're playing with the Broncos. From when Jocko put you in, started taking you around to Madison Square, to the Madison Square Boys and Girls Club, how was the culture shifting for you? Because I'm sure there was an established culture already around you.
Yeah.
But as you're injecting yourself into the game of basketball here in New York,
Right.
how did you see that shift? Because what I've gathered from other folks is, once you're in it, you see this thing kind of move and evolve so rapidly that you kind of can't even really pay attention to what's happening. So, like, here in the city,
Right.
how did that pan out for you?
After I left Brooklyn and I started to travel to Manhattan, the Brooklyn thing, how it changed for me, Brooklyn was just, with Jocko, we would just play in Brooklyn, right? And in the BRC, we would play different teams. But when I went up to the boys club, Madison Square Boys Club, it's citywide. It's all these different tournaments that Jocko, we hadn't went to.
Right.
Citywide, Elm Corps, each one teach one, all kind of different leagues that the Broncos, I was playing in.
Right.
So I'm exposed to everybody. And I'm going against cats from all over. Whereas Brooklyn, where I was in Brooklyn, it was just really much those areas.
Right.
And I seen the illest cats, man, like Malik Sealy.
Man.
Man, these guys are my age. So I'm playing against them and Jamal Walker, all kind of nice cats. So I was able to play in different tournaments.
Right.
LaGuardia House, citywide. Citywide in the mornings. Our first games is at Brandeis High School, 8 o'clock in the morning, citywide. So I'm on a train at 7. Your game is at 8.
What's your mom telling you?
My mom said, yo, she knew I loved ball.
Okay.
She knew, like, yo, this kid likes basketball. I know he ain't getting in no foolishness. He's going to the game. So I'd be there every weekend, citywide, Brandeis. Every Julia Richmond, you got a game there. So I was really, one of those kids, I don't know if you see him anymore, that had the backpack on and they riding the trains and they got 3 games in a day. I was one of them cats, man. So that culture, I don't see it anymore because of the AAU.
Right.
And I'm, sometimes I'm on the train and I see some kids with like ball and stuff. I'm like, yo, that was me. But it was hard body back in the days.
Right.
Because New York City culture was really basketball centric. And we always produced mad ball players.
Right.
Rod Strickland, Pearl Washington, Kenny Anderson. The list goes on. And it ain't so much like that anymore.
What do you think the biggest difference is? So you mentioned AAU.
Right.
There's a debate. A lot of people consider that to be a plague. Some people consider that to be, a positive thing.
Right.
What do you think is Because we're not talking about a lot of years here. We're talking about maybe 20 years.
Right.
When you see that big shift.
It has to be that AAU, because when I was coming up, the parks would stay full.
Yeah.
With kids, with high school guys, with men, always playing. The culture of basketball was vibrant. You go to any park, mad games. I got Nets, this and that, all over. Then it just shifted. So all that stuff, it went to the gyms, I think. And it changed because you don't see that as much. And I don't know what shifted it. But back, in New York City, when I was coming up, that was all you did.
Right.
Like as a kid, like, yo, we coming out. We're gonna play Skelly, and then we gonna and then we gonna play Ring Alivio, and then we going to the park. And it's all day, all night when the lights come on. Next day, the same thing. So you don't see that no more.
Nah. People got video games to play.
Yeah.
We did that for like 10 years.
I was about to say, people don't know about Skelly. They probably need an app to play Skelly nowadays. You don't know.
That's real talk.
You don't know about that. It's sad.
Google it.
It's sad. Yeah, word. It's sad. Because my thing is this. Like, I feel like, okay, I hear you about the AAU. I can't speak about it because I never been to that level. But I want to ask you, nowadays, I feel like also video games have a huge influence on kids.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not just forget about just being pro athletes, like just being healthy and doing something productive. Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big thing. Do you feel like that has anything to do with it? Or do you feel like, are you talking more from the era, from where you saw fit, like from the cutoff that you were playing ball, the AAU kind of took over that space?
Video games did play a part. I had video games, but it wasn't at the level of these kids.
Right.
But my thing was, I'm coming outside.
Right.
We were kids who were athletic. It wasn't just staying in front of the watching the consoles and shit. We did that. It was like for a little bit of time, but it wasn't centered around that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we're gonna play stickball. We're gonna play football. We're gonna stoop ball. We're gonna be with the Puerto Ricans. Cats play handball.
Yeah.
Right. We play baseball with the Dominicans. It was everything.
Good.
Right.
Everything, and that provided a great childhood. But then I was thinking, what if there were mobile phones? That would have changed. That would change. We wouldn't have been doing that.
Right.
I would have been on my phone. I know that.
Oh man.
Right.
Oh,
that's some great technology. And if they had that in 1979 and 80. I probably would have been the same way. I probably would have been like, yo, this is dope. Yo, Snapchat, Instagram.
Yeah.
Imagine they had all that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be so much into what we were. But thank God, I was able to come outside and meet people and play ball and do things, man.
Right.
Travel, catching bees. I had the greatest childhood, man. We
Catching
catch
bees?
Catching bees.
Yeah, Brooklyn cats know. Yo, the bees are around the grass. Nothing to do. Get a jar, mason jar, put some foliage in, put some leaves in, and catch bees. or lightning bugs and bug out what's going on.
See, the lightning balls, I'm with you. But the bees, we gotta talk about
bees too.
We have to put his mom on.
Bees are going extinct, so it's Brooklyn cats that we have to blame.
Fault.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Brownsville.
We ain't had nothing else to do, bro.
I hear you. Here in the Bronx, we gonna mess with a Brooklyn cat all day. You and our home turf.
That's what's up, man. BX. I love BX. It looks like Brooklyn.
You've been here a long time, bro.
Yeah, you from us now. You part of us now, man.
You adopted.
Yeah. I am.
We took you in. Now you ain't homegrown, but you close enough.
Yo, I remember coming out here with my aunt lived on Bruckner and Powers or something.
Yeah.
Yo, it was devastation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo, I remember coming off the Bruckner with my pops and being like, yo, her building was the only one standing. Everything was rubble.
Yes.
The Bronx made a resurgence, man, because people don't understand. It was like Berlin out here, man.
Yep.
I remember.
Right?
I remember that.
I remember back in the 80s, I want to say late 80s, I think President Ronald Reagan, if I'm not mistaken, came out here, man, and we just saw nothing but rubble behind him.
Yep.
And then Mayor
Dinkins?
Dinkins came out here too.
Jimmy Carter, too.
Jimmy Carter came out.
Yeah,
So
Charlotte
there's
Street.
a couple,
Yeah.
but I just remember these images. I remember I'm a kid.
Right.
At this time, I'm not
Right.
knowing what's going on. I'm just seeing the images. I'm seeing this figure and this rubble behind. They calling it the Bronx. I'm
Yeah.
like, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not.
People
really,
don't understand it. You just look at how communities were back when the Bronx was really, really bad. It's unbelievable that people were actually just living around all that,
All
right?
the rubble.
Right.
It's crazy. But
It's
people
crazy.
people adapt, man.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
Yep.
So I want to kind of go back before
Okay.
we move forward from the Madison Square Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
You mentioned a few names: Malik Sealy, Kenny Anderson, a few other cats that you
Rest in peace, Malik Sealy.
rest in peace, for
absolutely.
sure.
Yeah.
You played with some amazing talent there. Not to belittle you,
Right.
but I mean you have names that a lot of people recognize.
Yeah.
What are some stories that you can share with us from those moments, like from not necessarily from those players, but from that experience that just I don't know signifies kind of that moment in time?
Lloyd Daniels, Sweet Pea, seeing him play, seeing him hit fadeaway jumpers, left-handed from the corner.
Wow.
I mean, just the talent of Kenny Anderson, my man, B.J. Carter from Queens, went to Hillcrest High School. It's so many that, Rod Strickland, Tit Dog in Harlem from the Gauchos. And just being on the court with some of them dudes, my talent level wasn't there. It wasn't there, but I could play with them and not be no
You could
bench
compete.
warmer.
Right.
And dudes would pass to me because if you wasn't nice or you wasn't anything, you're not getting the ball passed to you. You just on the court.
Right.
I wasn't in that category.
Right.
And but just seeing their talent level lets you know where you stood.
Right.
So, man, I just Kenny Anderson was the one that stood out the most. Like, I never seen a 13-year-old that nice.
Was it his handle?
Yeah,
his just
unbelievable
poise?
handle, dribbling fast as you can, stopping on the dime, throwing it behind your back without taking a look at it.
Right.
So going from right to left
Getting the
and
feel.
just moving like that without looking at it. So for a normal kid, you take a little glance at it so you can see where it's at. He did that full speed, boom. Unbelievable. I was right up on it. I played with him in a tournament called Amsterdam Action on 68th in Amsterdam, across from Lincoln Center. It was me, Kenny Anderson, Malik Sealy,
Wow.
and some other cats that was crazy nice. I didn't get much run. I scored 4 points, but I was on that crew.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
How many elbows did you give?
I didn't give
That's not on the stat sheet, but that counts.
I got rebounds and I passed to them cats and they passed to me and I hit a couple of jumpers.
Okay.
And we had anybody listening that played for Riverside Church know our coach was Turtle.
Okay.
Yeah, so just want to make it.
How was Turtle?
Turtle was all right. He was had a little substance abuse problem, but
man.
come on.
Who was?
That was the era.
Yeah.
Who was opposite you? Who are you facing? Anybody of note to mention at this moment?
Yeah. Who gave you fits?
At that moment, I'm talking about in that space of
In that
like
space.
Kenny A and all these people that you were playing against in that.
I played against I played against Kenny Anderson in Brandeis. It was Riverside.
Guarding each other?
Yeah, Riverside. Of course, he won't remember. Riverside against the Broncos. Man, that dude was off the chain, man. So many ill and ones.
Wow.
I was doing my thing, but I've never seen this dude was laying out big man like crazy and ones. I went back like damn, like I used to be like damn,
Let me ask
we all knew that dude is going to the NBA.
Right.
Let me ask you a question, because you mentioned a lot of names, a lot of people that you were very passionate saying these names.
Yeah.
I want to know, do you feel, as in retrospect, do you feel like there's names that could have made it the way that perhaps didn't make it for whatever?
My man, a guy I played with, basically second grade with this dude. We was playing ball growing up. My dude Al Williams.
Okay. What position?
He's point guard extraordinaire. He went to Thomas Jefferson High. Then he transferred to Truman. He played with Rod Strickland and
Nice.
Okay.
Greg Poindexter.
Okay.
Dude was a perfect point guard. I got all my heart from him because this dude was fearless. We're little kids, basically.
Right.
And we go in these gyms in Brooklyn or whatever, and this dude didn't have any fear whatsoever. He going at these dudes. He busting these dudes' ass. So playing on the team, I was like, yo, I'm in second grade with this guy. So if he could do it.
Yeah, it gave you confidence.
Yeah, it was like, oh shit. Go. I'm going to go at him too. Like that type of stuff. Right. So, it was a lot of players that I played with. Jason Williams, who went to St. John's.
Yes.
Played for the Nets.
Yeah, we went to Powell Memorial together.
Nice.
That was the first dude I met on the first day of school. He asked me, did I play ball?
Nice.
And
So wait, you guys didn't get to finish, right?
It closed the next year. Right. So we did 1 year in Power.
Okay.
I had a Jason Williams. Who else?
Jamal Mash? No, Jamal Mash? No.
No.
He wasn't. He was. I think he was.
It was Mel Kennedy was there. Daryl's guy went to Seton Hall. That school was a factory for hoopers at that time.
Wow.
We're talking 82,
Oh,
83.
Jamal Mashburn wasn't nowhere near.
Yeah, 83. Norris McAdoo. This dude had a half an arm.
Oh,
What?
Crazy nice.
like homeboy now from the play
Seahawks?
football. Yeah.
Seahawks, yeah.
This dude, crazy nice. You could Google him. He had like a nub. We call him Lucky. He's from Harlem.
Okay.
Crazy nice. I first saw him. I said, man, I'm gonna take the ball from this motherfucker.
Right.
Never did it.
Wow.
That night.
Did he use the nub at all?
Yeah, he
Like,
shot.
not to
He
be
had
funny.
the ball right here.
Oh,
Yo.
that's crazy.
My man was crazy nice.
I can't believe you telling me this.
Norris McAdoo. Lucky. People in Harlem know. Luck.
I never heard no shit like that in my
He was
whole life.
crazy nice. Then after that school closed, cats went to St. Raymond's. My man Ray Echoes. So many nice dudes, man. So many that I came up. Glad I came up in that era. We talking 80s.
Yeah.
The best time, man.
Yo,
That's
shout out to St. Raymond's.
St.
by the way.
Raymond's, baby. We
Yeah,
Ravens, man. We
were
Ravens.
we Ravens. My brother and I, Emilio and I are Ravens. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've been to all those schools.
I would squawk, but nah, that's not how I get down. We this weekend we were at a tournament.
Right.
It was it's called ACC. Basically, it was All City Champions. I think is what the group is called. It was New York versus Philly.
So
they did a game on Friday. A series of games on Friday in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day on Saturday they did a series of games in New York.
Okay.
At
I think I saw that on Instagram.
I posted some stuff.
Yeah.
So I got to tell you. So you mentioned at the onset here of our interview the talent level that you saw, at the park and high school age kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't remember a time, and granted, I'm a little younger than you are,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't remember a time where I've seen such gifted athletes.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably shouldn't say this because the price is going to go up, but it was, I paid $10. I saw 3 amazing games.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the class of 2021, class of 2020, and class of 2019. Sophomore, junior, and senior age cats.
Wow.
Every single matchup was, it was, I'd say, better than a lot of NBA games.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it's very competitive, right?
Yes.
It was
intense.
high intensity.
Yeah.
Like, how people talk about, like, the love of the game?
Right.
You saw it in full display.
Yeah.
All across
Minute
that.
to,
Yeah, you gotta
every
love
minute,
it.
every second of the game.
Baseline to
and it
baseline.
was, and it felt like it was on fast forward. And nobody missed. It was quick, boom, but nobody made mistakes. It was just quick. You score, I'm gonna score. You make a 3, I'm gonna make 3 threes.
Right.
Yeah, there was a ton of
entertaining.
talent.
You couldn't blink.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
what-
blink. You blink, it's over.
That's when basketball is at its most fun.
Yeah.
When everybody's in it,
Yes.
defending,
Yeah.
physical.
Yes. Everything.
I love the physical play because
Yes.
that ramps it up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's what's up. No fighting, just like, yo,
Right.
this is what it's about.
And we
You know,
spoke to Coach Lopez at St. Raymond. And I was like, "Yo, we gonna get some of this from the Ravens this year?" And he was like, "Yeah, we looking all right." So,
Really?
So I'll be there.
Speaking of which, man, I was making note. You was talking about physical play. 'Cause
Yes.
I feel like the NBA has lost a little bit of that with the power forward position being kind of obsolete a little bit. It's kind of like you run, shoot, and jump.
They want scoring, right?
Which is right. But we saw this big, bulky dude who at the game.
The kid that's going to Villanova from Philly.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, man. I'm so sorry, man. I'm gonna plug you up in this set. We gotta do something for you. Point is, he reminded me of like Karl Malone,
Right.
you know, but it's kind of like a lost arc. And maybe I should segue into the question of like, far as what you think the state of the game is. Because I feel like, you can't help your size. You can't help, how you grow. Like, you can't, everybody's not a point guard. Everybody's not a shooting guard. Everybody's not a center.
Right.
But, you are what you are. Obviously, I'm kind of biased with this question, but do you feel like that kind of aspect is missing? Do you feel like it should be integrated into the NBA, or do you feel like, these are not the times for big dudes to be in the game?
Oh, the game has evolved.
Okay.
And it's a positionless game now.
Okay.
So Dwight Howard, that's why Dwight Howard is floundering.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no more throwing. He gotta guard the dude at the 3-point line.
Right.
Yeah.
So it ain't no more, we going inside out.
Right.
It's like, you gotta guard KP. KP out here dribbling, cutting cats, cooking cat. You gotta come guard him. Mm-hmm. But we don't have to guard you because your game hasn't evolved to that point yet. And it's too late. It passed him by. He's passe. That's why he's team to team to team. It ain't no more down low dudes, man. You got to handle. Dirk Nowitzki kind of started all that.
Yes,
Remember he was out there?
Yes.
So now it's positionless.
Right.
So that's where the game is went. It ain't no like, okay, we're gonna go back. That's over.
Right.
So, but that's your preferred brand of.
I like the game like that.
Yeah.
I like the game like that. You need to be able to do everything.
Yeah.
Okay, but hear me out on this. This is my only contention about what you just said.
I'm sorry. His name is Eric Dixon.
Eric Dixon, shout you out, man.
6'8", going to Villanova from Philly.
He's a truck. Kid's a truck.
He's
a monster.
okay.
He's a monster. Shout out to you, man. Shout out in Villanova.
Yes.
Going to this question, this is my only contention about what you just said. If you're a 7-footer, think about a 7-footer now. 7-footer, let's say 250. Just for the sake of, all right. Naturally, you probably not as agile as a 6'2" dude, right? Right?
No,
but
not always.
Right, you're not. Let's just say on average, right?
All right.
Not everybody. There's going to be some supreme athletes out there, but on average, right? Because we came in an era where we saw these big 7-footers,
lumbering cats,
slow as foot, but they had skill, right? But fine, okay. You say it was evolved. I get that. My point still being, if you're a 7-footer, 250. Most of the time, you're probably not as agile as the point guard because the point guard handles the rock. He's super agile. He's moving at speeds blazing, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time. So my point is, I feel like it's an unfair advantage to make the game completely surrounded upon the ball-dominant guards to where the center has to kind of now become a guard, basically, just to stay in the game. Because, let's say, how about feet size? The man got a size 20 foot. Where he going? Where is he going?
Magic Johnson revolutionized the game.
That's not fair.
And made big guys.
Magic Johnson.
And made big guys. We could dribble.
Right.
We could be out here doing this too.
Right.
6'9" point guard, revolutionized the game, turned it on its ear. So as time progressed, now you got KD bringing the ball up.
Right.
LeBron bringing it up. KD is 7 feet basically.
Right.
His handle is like me. It's like, you could dribble like that.
You got handle?
I could do what he could do.
We're going to test that out.
But I'm saying, like,
another segment.
You never saw a 6'11" dude behind the back, spinning, with no problem.
Right.
So Magic Johnson is responsible for giving big cats the confidence to say, we can dribble like these dudes. And now what you're seeing in the game, the European players, that's all they've been doing.
Right.
So they coming over here and Dwight Howard and all that inside out, that's the old game. LeBron, he do it all. Right?
Yes. I want to touch on Dwight.
Right?
I want to touch on Dwight because I got a lot of bones to pick, but I'll pick on this one. I remember a few years ago, about 6-8 years ago, Hakeem Olajuwon wanted to train Dwight Howard. Right? I don't know if you guys saw this.
I remember the pivots and all that.
Right. So Dwight came out of it like, I can't, basically he didn't go fully with the workout. I feel like he took it for granted. Right. And I'm thinking, this is one of the greatest of all time, my brother. If that man spit, you catch it.
They call him the dream.
If he spit, you put your hand out and catch the man. Right. Don't soak it up.
Yeah.
Mind you, same Kobe Bryant, same trainer, Hakeem Olajuwon. He's soaking all that up. His footwork is amazing. My thing is, you didn't evolve because you didn't want to evolve. You thought, I'm the man. I'm making $150 million. It's going to last forever. Right. And they're going to just soak it up and they're going to take my 19 points and 10 rebounds, and that's just going to be, my man, you should be dropping 25 a game. We were talking about that 10 years ago. And now the game, like you said, passed you by.
Yeah, they wasn't even giving him the ball.
Right. And he don't deserve it.
Just running up and down.
Deserve it.
And Atlanta, he was doing that. And at Houston, it was like up and down. You were the fourth option.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the ball's on the perimeter.
Right.
You got to be out here guarding these cats, man.
And
we're not going to you. We're not going to. No plays will be run for you.
That's fascinating, man. He's in the Wizards now. Do you feel like that center position is gone then?
It's gone. You got to have handle at the center position.
That's crazy.
Look at Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid got some.
Yeah, he got skill. Yeah. He got skill. He got all the skills.
Would Shaq be able to guard these dudes?
Nobody.
Nah. And if you take Shaq out, you beat these guys all the time. He's not guarding the rim.
Right.
He's guarding the 3-point line because homeboy could shoot.
Right.
But let me say this though, because when Shaq was in his prime, he dominated the game.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Dominated, like it was scary. I'm not a huge Shaq.
You think he could do it now?
Of course not, but the game has changed.
Right.
So but again, it goes back to like, my point about the story is it's era based.
Right.
That's the era that was the thing, right? Whereas, back
Inside Out.
Right. Like it's just a different era.
Right.
Also because the personnel is not there. We don't have 278-pound people that can move like Shaq used to either.
Yeah.
I don't see that.
No, it's a more athletic build across the board.
Look at Joel Embiid. I mean, the man, you never seen a guy, I'm not going to say never, but recently you haven't seen a guy that big with that kind of skill set. Threes and he could cross you over.
Yeah.
But I mean, what we saw at the high school level this weekend,
for sure.
I think is the new wave.
Right.
Like, I mean, you see the speed, the height, the athleticism in the league now.
Yeah.
But in the positionless game, like, we were seeing, I don't know, maybe 5'8", leaping, dunking like it's nothing.
Really? I gotta see it.
I wish you was there.
I gotta see it.
As a matter of fact, the next one, I'm dead serious.
Invite me. I'll come.
You got to.
Yeah,
I'm dead serious. To a man. I wish, because I got there late, I was volunteering. I swear I wish I was there throughout the whole thing. I was electric the whole time. I don't remember last time I felt like that.
It was $10.
Yes, man.
It was
support your locals.
I'm upset.
Support your
I'm
locals.
upset for the school because I went there. I'm like, I hope Sam Raymond's making something out of that tournament.
Right.
It should have been 20.
Right.
But it was a good size of people. I felt like it was almost damn near sold out.
It was.
I feel like there was barely seats.
It should have been. I mean, the way the games were. I mean, this is the best cats from New York versus the best cats from Philly.
Wow,
it's amazing.
It should have been line around the block. But to your point, right? If this was the '80s and maybe early '90s, I bet you that's
a good point. Man. That's a good point.
But
because people a lot,
people on their phones, man.
Yeah, they get complacent about those.
Yeah. So, and you know who revolutionized the game next? Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Wow, that's true.
That's where everybody's shooting threes and all that.
That's a good point.
But I hate
that. Because if you ain't Steph,
right?
You can't just be pulling.
You got no business.
Let me tell you, man. I'm gonna tell you something. So I used to coach fifth graders.
Right.
Okay. I got 1 through 5 position. Every last one of them thinking they Steph Curry.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm like, let me tell you something. All right, if somebody don't get me rebounding right here, ain't nobody playing.
Just pulling indiscriminately.
Practice is canceled.
Yeah, that ruins the game, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Because that's a one of a kind dude.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the best shooter I've ever seen. I've never seen nobody shoot like that.
Yeah. I mean,
me either.
Right.
I can't.
I
with
agree.
the frequency.
You know what it is? Because the only comparison I had was Reggie Miller at one point. I feel like Reggie Miller was shooting from half court.
He's not in his league, bro.
No,
I can prove it to you.
This is a New York podcast.
I can prove it to you.
He's an enemy of the state.
That's crazy. See this shit here?
You know why Reggie Miller not in his league?
Oh, he said that.
Reggie Miller has to run around screens.
Okay, but
this guy will break you and shoot from half court.
Okay.
End of story.
It's true.
End of story. This dude's running around these screens. My man just boom, ball is gone.
Okay.
Net, applause.
Okay. But hold on.
Cue the shimmy.
Word.
Okay. But let's keep it in error form. Shooting guards at one point in time, That's a part of what the Klay Thompson is very similar to that with what you described.
Yes.
Like you come off of the screen.
Right.
It's I go back to guys like Richard Hamilton, Rip Hamilton.
Yeah.
He used to come off screens even though he's
Yeah.
more mid-range. The point being is that's the era of that. You didn't have a 2-guard with handle because that just
I
wasn't.
disagree. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying ever.
No.
I'm talking about that time frame. I'm not
The
saying
era.
ever.
Okay.
I'm saying for the most part that just wasn't their job. And now it's like your guy handle you. Steph Curry. I agree with you. He's the best shooter I've ever seen because I think he could do everything Reggie Miller could do as far as his style and do it off the dribble.
Right. See, also Reggie Miller didn't have that. You got to have rhythm, all that ill handle.
Right, he never had
He
that.
didn't have all that.
He never had that.
So it's just if it's not in your makeup
Right.
and you need screens, all you need is a smidgen of space.
Right.
So I rub you off the screen and then it's gone. But what about when it's me and you and I'm just defending you?
Right.
How can you get me off of you? You
Right.
can't. Steph can and shoot it. Best ever.
That's a strong argument.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, just one point about that. Watch Draymond Green's big ass. Okay. Setting some goddamn
you
screens
said
around
no.
here.
Always say
That's
so.
all I'm saying.
That's part of the game.
I'm saying.
That's part of the game.
I'm just saying, with his big ass. Emphasis on big.
But primarily, he doesn't score on them screens.
Right.
Primarily, it's bringing it up,
Right.
clearing it out,
free
and he got check YouTube.
Yeah. I'm not taking nothing away from Curry.
You're right.
Curry's done things I stood on and still my brain don't get. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I've never seen nothing like that.
When I lived out in the Bay Area, I was fortunate enough to see when Golden State was playing Houston, one of those playoff runs.
Okay.
And Golden State won out. I was at that game before they went to the Western Conference Finals, I believe it was.
Right.
And man,
It's like a circus. It's like really
like watching it on TV is one thing and it's amazing,
Right.
but when you see it, you couple the atmosphere at I forget the name of the damn stadium now, but where the Golden State Warriors Oracle. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Sorry. So Oracle Arena plus his amazing talent.
Yeah.
It's
He's a spectacle, man.
Yeah.
He's a spectacle.
Beautiful game.
it is beautiful.
I feel like he's a gift and a curse. Like he made the game what it is today, but he also it's a gift and a curse.
Yeah,
I feel
now
like
you
he also
got-
destroyed it a little bit because everybody think they Steph Curry.
Trey Young, he thinks he's Steph Curry too.
Can we not?
Not too much going on.
The jury's still out for me on Trey Young.
Me too.
I'm still waiting to see.
I'm still
'cause
waiting.
I don't know what the hype was about.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
It's just that it's just style of play. His style of play mirrors
I see that.
Steph Curry.
I see
That's
the
it.
imitation.
I see that.
But I don't see the production.
But the results.
Yeah.
But we got to give him some time.
No,
let's be all fair.
hey, I got patience.
The slate is clean. Let's see what you can do.
I got patience.
I'm not. I don't think you could mirror Steph Curry though. And this is another thing. Let's be honest, man. Look, he had an unfair advantage. The man's father was Del Curry. Del Curry's a great shooter in the league, regardless. He was in the NBA. Hold on, he was in the NBA shooting around with pros at 10 years old.
That's not an excuse.
I'm not making it as an excuse.
Sean Kemp has 15 kids, and not one of them.
No, but
is getting no kind of burden.
Right.
But then again, I'm sorry, Sean Kemp, I'll do this to you, but it's already out there. Sean Kemp was a little bit of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fine.
He made a little thing. So the influence don't fall too far from the tree.
But there's a lot of kids from these pros.
That I
over
agree
time,
with.
right?
Michael Jordan got a son, and we don't know where he at.
I wouldn't play
Where he
ball
at?
if I was his son.
Right.
Yeah,
That's a
I'm
lot
like,
of pressure.
I'm good.
That's a lot of
Those shoes are too
pressure.
big.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
shoes are
pressure.
too- yeah.
It's unfair, man. But again, at the end of the day, Steph Curry was one of those that took advantage of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Which that's what I'm saying. All the resources, he was rich and he dove in head first.
So wait, I want to bring us back.
Okay.
Yes.
Because we left the city.
NBA talk.
We out somewhere else.
Right. Good.
But no, this is all good. This is all good. But I want to get back to you, Mr. Moody. So you mentioned Powell Memorial.
Yeah.
Then you left there and you went
Erasmus Hall.
in
in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Played
was
against
that?
some. Oh, it was great, man. I first got there. Was on the team. Played against some guy in gym class. This guy bust my ass. He was on the team. His name was Rodolfo Bino. Crazy nice. Actually, then I was on the team. Then he graduated, and Rapaport came to Erasmus Hall with me because he was in Los Angeles. Came back. said, yo, come to my school. So we went there. We played high school. I played against Conrad McCray, rest in peace.
Yep.
Mo Scurry, went to UNLV. Brooklyn had mad ball players. This is before Marbury. Like, I'm a little older than Steph. So back in Brooklyn, playing against Brooklyn Tech, so many schools, Midwood, Grady, Eli Whitney, Lincoln, doing work in there and just taking it, man, just loving it, just playing hoops.
That's dope.
And then, so did you go off to boarding school also?
After Erasmus, I think it was 11th grade, I went to Laurinburg Prep with Gil Reynolds. He was a great coach.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
Where is that, Pennsylvania?
That's in Laurinburg, North Carolina. So it's like Oak Hill Academy, but Laurinburg. Man, the best coach I ever had was Gil Reynolds.
Okay.
I was out there with cats from New York, and we had a team. We were destroying all the whole North Carolina cats. But best coach I've ever had. He coached World Be Free. World Be Free told me that was the dude that put him in the NBA. Because this school, the coaching was intense. Prior to him, I was just playing off of talent. Right. Or whatever little talent I had, I was just playing off of that. Got there, really learned the game of basketball, really learned angles, all kind of drills. We didn't even shoot the basketball. It was just mad drills day after day. That dude was the best by far.
Man.
And anybody that played with him will tell you that.
Gil Reynolds.
He made a lot of NBA players. John Sally played with Gil. And he'll tell you, best coach ever.
And so you were there the remainder of your high school tenure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you go an extra year there?
No.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know that was possible. Like, I hear these cats, actually I was overhearing a conversation the other day where you do 3 years at a normal high school, you go to prep school, you could bang out another 2 years. Is that?
No, I just did one.
Okay.
And then I went to junior college in Arizona, man.
How was that?
That was fantastic.
I feel like there's been a lot of players that went to Arizona. I don't know if it was the school you went to, but they go to JUCO in Arizona and then they get picked up by a big program.
Yeah. That was my whole thing. I wasn't getting recruited or nothing. So I just said, all right, I like warm weather.
Right.
Arizona Western College.
Okay.
Yuma, Arizona, one of the hottest places on earth.
Huh.
So I went there. I called the coach. He said, "Yeah,
personally called him."
I called him. I said, "Yo, I got accepted. I enrolled. I'm coming there. I play ball. I played, whatever in New York." The coach Brooks Newman, assistant coach. He said, "Yeah, we got some ball players here from New York. We got B.J. Carter. We got Dave Truwell. We got." I didn't know B.J., but I knew Dave. I was like, "Oh, that's my man." So I went out there.
So you didn't reach out to them on account of your man?
No.
You didn't even realize he was there?
I didn't know nobody was there. I said, all right, I'll just go here. So got there, red-shirted.
Okay.
Because the team was already stacked. I said, I'll just go wait. Red-shirted, was playing in practice with them. Long Beach State was seeing me practice on the team. They started recruiting me. Cal State Fullerton. All these, D1 schools would come there because it was a good program, Arizona Western. An NBA ref, Kevin Cutler, who's an NBA ref now, was there a year before I went.
Playing. Okay.
He went to Long Beach State, so Long Beach State recruited me, went home, following year, went out there to Long Beach State. On the team at the time, the coaches were Seth Greenberg.
Okay.
And John, I forget his name, but Seth Greenberg was there. The players were Lucius Harris, who played with the Nets. He was there. Yo, I was bugging out that I got this far. Right. I was like, oh, shit, I'm going to be here. I was in the gym watching these motherfuckers. Excuse me. I get hyped.
It's all right.
So I'm like, oh, man. The coach, I get there. I try to enroll in classes. My man, Kevin Williams, who's from Brooklyn, is there, too. He went to Arizona Western, so I'm like in his dorm room. Lucius Harris comes in. He's like, yo, you going to the school? You coming in? I'm like, yeah. Just got to get my scholarship stuff ready. I'll be here next semester.
Yep.
Go in the office, come back home, and then go back to Long Beach, go in the office. They didn't have my scholarship, men's scholarship, basketball stuff ready. They said, well, you can go back to, we Compton College. I was devastated.
For what? For like a
like
semester?
for a semester or like 2 years. But I know how recruiting is.
Yeah.
I would be forgotten about because I wasn't
out of sight, out of mind.
I wasn't like no All-American cat. So I said I was just devastated. I said, man, I'm not going to Compton College.
Right.
So I went back home and I just started working, man.
But was that like funny business? Like, did you ever get to the bottom of what happened with the?
Well, they didn't do what they said they were going to do.
Oh, they flaked.
Right.
Okay.
And he had my papers in a file that he pulled out that was supposed to be at the NCAA.
Oh.
And it was right. He did it right in front of me. I was like, yo. Because I went to the bursar. They was like, oh, Mr. Moody, you got to go back.
You got a bill.
You got to go back and check with men's basketball.
Get out. Damn. So wow.
I was there. I went to the game. They invited me to a game at Long Beach Arena. It was UNLV against Long Beach State. Larry Johnson was playing. Greg Anthony. I was on the floor. I was watching. I was like, I'm here. I'm playing against these cats next year. I was hyped. And then the balloon bust.
So let's talk about that because that experience is valuable. Like, so you get there, you go through all this stuff. Your hopes get crushed.
Yeah.
How do you leave with, I don't know, resentment? And I mean, you got to be pissed, right?
I just was shocked.
Yeah.
And I came back home, and I mean, I just started working and stuff. I still was kind of, young or whatever. I started working. I worked for the health department. Mm-hmm. And then Cass was like, yo, man, you're only 20. You should go back to school.
Right.
I said, all right. So I went back to school. But it wasn't the same, like, basketball stuff.
Right.
So I was just like, let me just continue. I had a good time. It was great. I got mad memories. Forget it.
So you just cut it out.
I just stopped, just started working, having fun. I still was kind of young.
Right.
So I was just like.
You switched.
Yeah.
You switched into. So but you went to school. Did you finish college?
I finished 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, finished 2 years.
Was that an associates? Did you get an
associates?
Okay.
And then I just started working. I just started focusing on this is going to be my life. And I'm going to play ball. I still play on some Weekend Warrior. And that was it. In the summers, just still played until my body gave out.
So, I mean, it's actually... Now, the story is kind of sad because you didn't make it to...
Right.
I mean, that was a dope school.
I just wanted to be D1 on TV so my mom could see
it.
Yeah. That was it.
That would have been...
Yeah.
No, but not only that, like, to get a scholarship to go to school.
Yeah.
Like, that's not easy to come by.
Oh, hell no. Yeah.
And trust me when I tell you, I'm still paying for my time at UMass.
Right.
So, it's crazy. But, so, like, for me, your story isn't... a sad one.
No.
Right?
No.
I mean, the dream of playing D1 ball sucked.
Right.
But you could have easily fallen completely off the wagon.
Yeah.
And just like ended up like a lot of these sob stories that you hear.
Right.
You decided, I'm going to have some fun, but I'm going to go work and try to build a career.
Yeah.
And do some things.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it wasn't, I love basketball, but it didn't define who I am as a human being. So, I mean, if you don't make it, that means your life is over.
Right.
Like that means you crash. Nah, I was just like, yo, I had the best time with this thing, man.
Right.
And it took me all over the country.
Right.
Places I would have never seen if I hadn't picked up a ball.
But that rationale is hard for a lot of people to sober up to.
Right.
Because you grow up playing basketball, and especially I would say nowadays probably more than in your era, because from early, these kids are with trainers. They got trainers early. They're in all these programs.
Yeah.
The ones that are nice early, they get coddled and bigged up, and their head inflates so young that it's hard for them to come crashing down.
Yeah.
And Mr. Q talked about this in the last episode. He was saying, even himself, he fell victim to this. You have this hope and this dream, and you're working toward it, and you're achieving milestones throughout the way.
Right.
And then you get to this point where things don't pan out. And then you're still grasping, trying to get to that higher level,
right?
Through a bunch of different places, right? Pro overseas or development leagues or whatever it is. But ultimately, it comes to a point where either your body gives out or the reality has to set in. It's like, look, you aged out of the opportunity.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
But then by that time, a lot of these cats can't it's not easy for them to go back to start fresh to try to create and cultivate a career.
Right, because you aged out, and it's like you basically wasted a lot of time.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it's hard for you to be real with yourself and be like, yo, that was a waste of time.
Right. But you know what? Also, cats should also think about overseas.
Yeah.
Just like
definitely.
Like if somebody would have came to me at that age and be like, yo, you could play overseas and offered me, I would have went at 21.
Because that really wasn't a thing.
Right. It wasn't If later, 2004, I went to the Philippines just on some vacation.
Right.
And basketball is huge there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm playing ball. I'm scraping these dudes or whatever, and dudes is coming up to me. He's like, "Yo, you want to play? You can play professional out here."
Wow.
I was just on vacation.
Wow.
And you were getting picked up.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yo," I called my man home. I said, "Yo, these dudes want me to play, man. I don't know, man. I got, I'm living in New York. I got
Did
a
they
job."
talk about money, or it was like
He was like, "Yo, you definitely could play if you come back.
I'll put you on."
Yeah." He said, "Think about it." And I was like 30. I don't know, 30. I was like, "Nah, man."
It's nice out there.
Yeah, I know.
Nice.
It was dope, but I was like, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know. I was like, I'm good. I'm living in Manhattan. This time I got a job. I'm cooling.
Right.
I play on the weekends. Nah. I just said, nah. I'm good.
But if there was a big 3 opportunity like there is today and they said, yo, what's up?
Oh, I would have been hell yeah, I would have been there.
Yo, that's so dope.
Yeah,
Big
hell yeah.
dope. Shout out to my man, Dream Big Hip Hop. He was covering a lot of that for his podcast. So big up to Paul, Drink Champ Sports, for that.
Yes, big you up.
Big threes, dope, no doubt.
There was a Nets player, a Brooklyn Nets player, back when KG and Paul Pierce was on that team. Mm-hmm. He was the backup center. His name starts with a B, last name B. He's a black African American, as far as I know. But he ended up going to the Philippines to play professional ball after his NBA career. Never longer took flight. I can't remember his name, but
Blank.
That's it.
Yeah,
Andre Blatch.
Yeah.
Yo, give me some brother.
Come on, I know ball, B. I know
Yo, you
ball.
know what? We gotta go up to their podcast talk some shit about ball.
I want to set the record straight real fast because
I'm so happy you here.
in case anybody,
I swear I thought I was gonna be swimming alone.
I swear
to God, I thought I was gonna be swimming alone.
I really want people to understand this guy is multi-talented. What you hear on the I Am Rapaport podcast is just a sliver of what this man is capable of.
I'm so happy.
So this is why he's Dribbling Dimes alumni
Thank
after
God.
this episode.
Yeah, give it up one time.
Thank you, man. Hell yeah.
We happy to have you, for real. All sincerity.
Thank you, man. Thank you, guys.
It's dope to have a clash of you actually know ball.
I know.
And you're of it, right? You're of it, and then you can see the other side of it.
I know the culture of it. When KD did that sucker shit.
To Melo?
Excuse me,
Yo, can you stop apologizing?
Sorry, all right.
Yo, don't ever apologize again.
All right, I won't do it.
No, but hey, yes.
Because, the culture of basketball, unwritten rules.
Oh, you said KD, not KG.
No, KD.
Yeah, I thought so too, but that's why I was like, I didn't finish the story.
The unwritten rules of hoops.
Yeah.
Culture, me and you on a team, and we up 3-1 against Manny. Manny comes back, and you kicking it to me like, yo, next year, we gonna scrape Manny. Yo, we going at him. We're gonna work out all summer. And then I'm like, yo, I don't even tell you. I bounce on the team with Manny. That's sucker shit right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
What would you feel about me?
I don't know. I would feel like you ain't shit.
Right. That's the culture of it. It's money involved, but still.
No. And I don't agree. I agree with you.
Right.
Because we come from that same cloth.
Right.
I come from that Jordan is Bulls, Barkley's Phoenix or Philly, whatever. Ewing is the Knicks.
Right.
We come from that.
Right.
Like, you loyal and that's it.
Right.
I don't want to hear this team shit. But I piggyback off the earlier conversation we had about Dwight Howard.
Yep.
Which is the game has evolved, okay? The game has evolved and all the personnel and pieces in it has evolved too.
Right.
Players at one time were so loyal to their franchise, whereas now they're loyal to winning.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
I do believe, and I'm a firm believer that in 10 years, no one really gonna give a shit. Like, at the end of the day, like, the player was the player. Was he good or was he not?
You know why that actually is true?
What?
Because the breed of people that we are
Yeah.
will not be the louder voice in 10 years.
Let me tell you something. We're gonna be the voice.
Nah.
I'm speaking. I speak loud right now.
Nothing against the millennials. Like,
I understand.
Right.
But they're going to be the overwhelming majority.
I get
right?
what
just
I get what you're trying to say.
generationally. That's just the way it is.
I get what you're trying to say.
And they're going to look at KD's move probably as something relatively passe.
Right.
Not a big deal.
Right.
And it's just keep it pushing. But the loyalists of the game that will remain will still have that contentious argument. Because it is, as you said, it is sucker shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, yo, if you were if you were to tell me, yo, you're going to miss out on $100 million if you don't leave, I can't fault him for that.
Yeah, that goes without saying.
The paper was long no matter how you
Right.
No,
slice
but
it.
he was if he had stood, he stand to make more money.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So
But he left that on the table to leave and do what he did.
Right.
Exactly.
He wanted to win.
Because he wanted to go team up with the superpowers.
Right. So
Now,
I mean,
if you do some LeBron type of business,
now
right?
let's talk about it. Let's talk about
That's a
it.
whole different ballgame.
You think so?
Of course.
He formed the freaking
Yeah, but check this out.
the Harlem Globetrotters.
Check this out. I'm gonna say my piece and I'm gonna pass it to the expert
Wow.
because I know Moody got a lot to say.
Yeah.
So look, you got this right. So let's think about Miami first of all, which is the one I think you're alluding to,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So you got Dwayne Wade at Miami in Miami. Then you got
Chris Bosh.
Chris Bosh coming from Toronto, and then you got LeBron.
Yeah.
So they do their thing and come form a team. Statistically speaking, that's a powerhouse,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
But what's fundamentally missing, and this is kind of what we were talking about off air, there's no chemistry yet with that group.
Right, first year.
First year, there's no chemistry, right? So very different than KD's situation where KD is coming to a core group of soup to nuts. 1 through 15, everybody's locked in on the same game plan. Many of them been together for at least 2 years or more.
Right.
Right? So for you to implement KD, now granted, it could go sideways if he wasn't of the mind to fit in.
Right.
But the team, so you heard when he was in the Hamptons, they had those meetings. You heard Steph Curry say it, and you heard Draymond talk about it, and probably the rest of the squad. Yo, KD, it's not about you, me. It's about us. And we're going to make it real comfortable for you to fit in.
Yeah.
You don't see that kind of thing.
That's
So
true.
that culture was solid, and they were ready to include him. So you got that willingness to accept him, which is rare, right?
Right.
Secondarily, the skill level of all those cats.
Yeah.
You're cheating, bro.
Yeah.
It's a cheat sheet.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, G.
Now,
Moody.
when you talk about LeBron, as far as what?
So I feel like LeBron kind of started the trend for what is today's NBA as far as just, jumping ship and forming your own team or joining a mega power or, that kind of trend for this generation.
Okay.
For this generation.
Partially right. Now, check this out. When LeBron left Cleveland, contract honored, right? Miami, the year before, didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
So you're not joining a championship team.
Fair.
You're not joining that. So you contracted, you're a free agent, you go there with Dwayne Wade, right? Then you win. You bring your presence brings a championship, right?
Right.
The year after.
Yeah.
So my thing is the team wasn't ready made. Like they didn't Golden State didn't need this cat.
Right.
LeBron went to a team that didn't make the playoffs the year before.
Right.
So that's the difference.
Tell him why you mad, son.
Yeah, but okay. If we're gonna go, hold on. If we're
That's the difference.
Okay, but and that's all fair points. But here, again, the team that was the year before is not the same team that he's joining. Recall that Chris Bosh is also going on that team, and you still got a Dwayne Wade who's in his prime, and LeBron James is in his prime.
Right.
So I just wanted to make you understand. If Chris Bosh was on that team last year and the same rules apply.
You act like Chris Bosh is crazy nice. He a Hall of Famer? Hell no.
Okay.
So they call him one of the Spice Girls. Remember Skip Bayless was calling him that. You not that nice. You think he a big three? Hell no.
But hold on. But you know what? Can I say something? At that time frame, and we're talking about just in that frame and space of time, he's one of the top tier players in the league. If he's a Hall of Famer or not, listen, that's another discussion. But that's not where I'm going with it.
All right.
I'm just saying, you're taking the top 3 players in the league at that moment in time. I'm not saying. Hold on.
Bugging. You can't make that point, baby.
Okay, hold on.
You gotta chill.
Hold on. Is Chris Bosh top 3? No. What I'm saying is
I wouldn't even put, he may be top 20 at that
Yo,
time.
he wasn't no 3.
Now y'all going crazy.
Chris Bosh was nice. We're gonna say he's nice.
Yeah. He's going top 20.
But you can't be like, we're gonna get Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh, and Cat's gonna be, word, you got Bosh? Nah. Nobody's thinking like that.
All I'm saying is Chris Bosh in the East was starting the All-Star game.
Yes.
Right? Let's just go there.
He's nice.
Which means he's at least top 10. Right?
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Whether he's top 1, it doesn't really matter. Remember, you got LeBron James, who you think is we're all in agreement he probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest player of all time. Fine.
Oh, we're going to get there.
Yeah, we're going to get there.
But hold on. But my point is, he's supernatural with his ability. Dwayne Wade as well. So even if you got one of us running, it don't matter. They got an unfair advantage with just those two. Chris Bosh doing 15 points is more than enough.
Got you.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand. Yeah, he's formidable.
That's all.
Yeah.
Whether he is a Hall of Famer is really not the point.
But then
that's not fair.
when you're comparing it to Golden State, though, and the KD scenario, now we're talking about a whole different band of married men.
Okay. Let's go to KD now. Think about this. Let's be fair to KD. He was greatly influenced by that core of Golden State. It wasn't like KD was like, going to Golden State, guys.
He couldn't beat them cats.
No, but I respect that. But remember, Steph, Draymond, Clay, everybody was on board to try to recruit him over. So aside from it looking good, I'm going to say this from a basketball standpoint. We off air, we talked about Russell Westbrook. I don't know if it was on air or off air. We spoke about
were on there.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook.
I alluded to
Come
it.
on. Russell Westbrook, it's not easy to play with Russell Westbrook. You're a point guard, and I haven't seen the ball since the first quarter. Somebody give me the ball.
I give you credit because Westbrook is bugged out.
That's not fair.
And I understand KD probably wanted to bounce because of that, because he knew, like, he makes it harder for us to.
Right.
We were up 3. You were up 3-1 with these dudes.
Yes.
And they were up 3-1 with LeBron, and LeBron came back and beat them dudes.
Washed them.
So.
Right.
LeBron is that dude, man.
No,
and people talk about KD, LeBron.
There's no comparison. There's no comparison.
They trying to leapfrog this dude into being the best player. Nah,
he's not.
You not.
He's not.
Because homeboy beat that team.
He's not.
He saved the day, yo.
I respect that, man. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you another thing, man. Just the fact that you speaking with passion about your shit, you got that shit, man.
All right.
You got that shit on this podcast.
All right. So
top 3.
We definitely need to.
All right.
Top 3 conversation.
But I want, actually, why don't we have that conversation now? I would like to speak after that about the looming trade the Minnesota Timberwolves need to make.
No, but
with Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
He mentioned the top 3 in New York City, which I thought was dope.
No, we're gonna talk about that.
I think that's really interesting too.
Let's start there and let's work our way up.
I like that.
So I honestly didn't do my homework to even think about this.
This is a big.
I can't give you one.
You mentioned two names that I was like, oh.
But you have I think you have more than us, just based on your experience here playing ball.
Right.
I think you got a better perspective than I think we might even be able to come up with. Just your exposure with the different players. So, top 3 New York City, right, players, and I hope that there aren't all going to be pros. Because I know for a fact. Here's why I say that. There's a lot of cats that are amazing. The legend of those people is amazing.
I see.
They never set a foot in the pro league.
But
we talk about New York State, the history of New York State.
Right.
It could be interchangeable between Kenny Anderson and Kareem.
Okay.
So either one, you can't go wrong. I saw this dude, and he's my height, little whatever. I got him as number 1.
Who's that?
Kenny Anderson.
Okay.
Kareem could be number 1, but I got him 2. And I seen Pearl Washington, and I seen the aura around him, and Kenny Anderson surpassed Kareem in points. And that's my 3, man. Kenny Anderson, Kareem, or some days it could be Kareem, Kenny Anderson, and Pearl Washington, because I seen them 2 dudes with my own eyes. And I seen the crowds around and how people, man, it was special. So that's it for me.
I just feel I feel like, listen, I watched. I'm gonna share this disclaimer my first ever introduction to an NBA game was a Nets game with Kenny Anderson at that point.
Right.
So I was mesmerized. This is 1995, I want to say. Drazen Petrovic was in there.
Yeah.
Portland Trailblazers were playing Clyde Drexler, and I was like
Was I
mesmerized.
there? I feel like I was there.
You probably did. George was there.
George was there.
Yeah, George.
So Rod
Dominic,
Strickland-
man. Shout out to my
George
middle school.
Ramos
Yeah,
and Larry Villar.
Yo, I did not know your last name. I hope you guys are watching.
That's our elementary school.
Middle school.
It's no longer
man.
there, but elementary school.
They took us on a field trip, and that's how I got exposed to Kenny
Really?
Anderson.
Okay.
Like I saw him on TV, but like that was like, oh, I'm hooked to the
Right.
NBA. Like I'm hooked. Sam Bowie was there, etc.
Right.
But the point being is like, yo, I never in my life thought I would hear on the same top three Kenny Anderson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Yo.
dogs. The fact that you put those two together, and I respect you for it because I know what you're saying. Like you have a good like
The history of New York
you,
State.
you're like your teeth are sunk into it. So I respect
Kareem he didn't lose in high school in 4 years.
No. That
So
that's
who's,
on the top three.
who's the third? You would say.
You said
Pearl
Pearl
Washington.
Washington. Just for the
played-
handle, the
played
ill
the Knicks.
handle, the just
Playing the Knicks, right?
Oh no, we played Nets and then Miami Heat.
No, I'm saying Pearl Washington.
Pearl Washington, Nets.
Yeah, Nets and Heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
When they
give me some
The
years.
expansion of the Heat.
He flamed out kind of quick in the league because he couldn't really shoot.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But his handle and his was a little overweight, a little
see.
pudgy.
Okay.
But that's an icon, and I saw him through high school, and the impact, incredible. So I would put him and so many others, but for that impact, it has to be Pearl, Kenny, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
What about Dr. J?
He's there, man. You
The
said
Kembas.
Who?
Kemba Walker.
Walker.
Yeah, but you can't put them over them. But
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know the list. But yeah,
The list.
wait, Dr. J. We're not talking about Dr. J in the top three.
Joe Hammond.
Not-
I heard Joe Hammond.
He was nice, yeah.
a beast.
But
Well, you're saying it from your perspective as
Yeah.
far as your eyes could see.
no, I'm saying
When you
for
cumulatively-
records
yeah.
and what you did in high school.
I see.
Right?
I see.
And the aura and your record. Did you lose any games? And Kareem hardly lost. Kenny Anderson, and they all won state and got the most points.
Yeah.
I seen them dudes, man. I seen Pearl and I seen Kenny Anderson. And Rod Strickland was nice too.
Yeah.
But these dudes it was something else.
You touched on something that really, really, really makes me respect your perspective, because for a long time I used to look at it was NBA or nothing.
Right.
For a long time as a kid, as a child.
too.
Right.
We grew up in that kind of like, you're in the NBA or you ain't shit.
Right.
But now when you talk about Pearl Washington just now, you were like, yeah, he kind of flamed out
Right.
in the NBA. And I'm like, yeah, because he didn't have a jump shot, it was a little pudgy.
Right.
But it makes me appreciate the game even more because you saw that transition from
Prime.
youth to like NBA. And
Right.
it was like, yeah, he didn't quite pan out in
Right.
the NBA, but that don't negate that legacy he left behind,
Absolutely.
which I feel
Syracuse, yeah.
super dope. And I want to say thank you for that, because it's just sometimes, and I'm sure I'm not the only child thinking that. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of youth out there that think if you don't make it to the NBA, you ain't shit.
Yeah, nah,
And
no.
but that also has to do with like media. That's a lot of things.
But
our
that
influence.
so what you're just talking about right now is the whole premise of why we're doing this podcast, because there's a lot of that, right? So like we grew up thinking the NBA was it. Right.
Right.
So we missed out on a lot of college and even locally,
Right.
Yeah,
outside of the people that we hung out with,
Right.
you weren't really all that exposed to the city of New York basketball.
Oh, man.
Like we would hear things, but like I know there's so many stories, and I'm only beginning to I'm understanding that more the older I get.
Right.
Right.
And I don't know of a forum where you have that documented, where you can have those stories told.
You guys, this is great that you guys thought of this stuff, because anytime guys who play ball, when we all get around each other, we always talk about who was crazy nice, who didn't
Right.
make it or whatever.
Right.
So, man, this is great. Great podcast, yo.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
I want to.
Because we all do it. We all talk about where we played, and
Right.
and even if you ain't make the league, you played against dudes in the league,
Right.
you bust their ass,
Right.
So,
But to me, that's value, right? Like
Right.
I don't look at people who were competitive and super dope coming up
Right.
that didn't make college or the pros as a wash. Like I look at that, you're steel sharpening steel the whole way.
Right.
And some people were able to etch out and find their lane.
Right.
That doesn't mean you whack.
Exactly.
Right.
You help the next man get to the next level.
Right.
It also has to do with influence. And you probably had, they had great influence. They had great parents behind them, pushing them all through. Maybe the resources they had, et cetera. There's a lot of factors.
there's a lot of factors.
You know what I mean? You had to kind of be lucky too, and someone
also,
saw you.
Also, your talent level too, man. I mean, like you could see certain players, you could just see it, and you got to have a special talent to get to that league, man.
Right.
That's the ultimate league,
that's
right?
the pinnacle.
Right.
And your talent, because if you get there, you'll flame out,
right?
Because everybody's nice,
right?
You gotta be able to shoot,
right?
And if you crazy nice in college or whatever, you get to the NBA, you might you not that nice here,
right?
Like we don't run plays for you. It's a star,
right?
And you nice too, but it's another level of basketball,
right?
Just like Larry Brown once said, he said, the Olympics and NBA are like two different sports,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So
it's a fact.
Yeah. So just like the playoffs and regular season, it's a totally different game. So when I got to college, you start seeing like really like
cream of the crop.
Yeah, you got to be your talent got to match that, so you can stay in it.
Right.
Well,
when you speak of, man, I want to say, because I feel like you have to kind of adjust, and I want to throw Carmelo Anthony out there for a reason that I feel like Carmelo.
I'm about to get.
Yeah, I'm sure you got a lot. We all we should.
I'll be brief with Carmelo.
Yeah, but here's my point. Carmelo was, coming out of Syracuse. I'm a huge Syracuse Orangeman guy.
Right.
I saw him play, winning a championship, et cetera. The hype, everything, was, he deserved it. He earned it coming in, right?
Right.
You didn't quite meet the standard of a LeBron, or everyone expected you to be the superstar of the league, or at least one of, right? Never quite met that. Yes, you're a great scorer, but never really won anything. The point being is, I feel, now in your later years, you're not the man no more. They were talking about him coming off the bench. He don't want to hear it. It's like, my man, there's a guy that does not want to accept who he is and what he is.
Right.
Never did, or else I felt he could have won because that talent level was there.
Yeah.
This is about, do you want to play amongst your team and win? Like, I feel like that's where LeBron comes in. His IQ, it's like, yes, I could score 80 points a game if I really wanted to, if I'm LeBron James.
Right.
But it's not about that.
Absolutely.
And that's why I feel like that's a winning mentality. Like, yeah, I'm going to score 30. I'm going to get you 10 assists. You go over here from the bench, going to score 10, 15, 20, and we're going to win this damn championship.
Right, absolutely.
And I'm going to push you along the way and encourage you and talk my shit to you. But I feel like Carmelo was that. What's your point, since he's a former Knick?
I'll be short with it. This shows you what he's about.
Right.
He don't care about winning. Right. All he cares about is starting. You see what I'm saying? So wherever team he goes to is like, my cachet is this. I'm this and that.
Right.
Although I'm 33 years old, I'm on the sunset of my career. Mm-hmm. Usually, when you're a normal thinking guy, you be like, I just want to fit in, right? Because maybe I could get a championship, so I'm gonna do whatever they want. Maybe get 15 points. Boom, you could get a chip like that, and it's not like you piggyback.
Nah,
you fit into the crew.
You earned it, yeah.
This dude gets insulted if the coach says, if there's younger players, you at the sunset, but we still need you. Mm-hmm. But you give us 10, 15 points. We good money. You could get us over the hump. Nah, man. Nah, I'm starting.
Right.
See? That mindset, you'll never win.
That's right.
You'll be shuttled out of Houston soon too.
That's right.
Because you're not getting the ball as much.
Right.
You're not that number one or number two option.
Nah.
So how is that going to set with him?
Yeah.
Knowing the attitude.
Right.
See? That's why it's like Iverson. You'll be shuttled out of the league.
Oh, man. That's a great
great
comparison.
I gotta say, when talk of him coming to New York was happening, I was ecstatic. When I realized what we gave up, and not years down the road, when I heard the announcement of what the trade package was, I was in shambles. I don't at that moment in time, and that's why I give Scott Perry and Stephen Mills some credit right now, because the way it seems like so far, they're not willing to sacrifice consistency in building a team, what I consider to be the best way we've tried to do it in many years, for the sake of a quick potential blip. So with this whole, what's happening now as far as, Jimmy Butler trade, I'm actually pretty confident that they're going to do the right thing and not pick him up. But back then it was like, I was like, yo, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah, give up the farm for this
Give
cat.
up the whole farm. And if you look at what, where those people ended up, I mean, you got a lot of great caliber players that if we would have nurtured, who knows what could have happened.
Yeah, all this thing is just scoring. So what, man?
Right.
So what?
Right. Yeah.
LeBron, you can never mention these guys in the same sentence.
Nah.
LeBron look at the team he brought to the finals last year.
Right.
Look at that. That sums it up. You don't have to say anything else.
That's right.
This guy, if you change the roles and put Carmelo there, they don't make the playoffs.
No way.
Because you're not a team guy.
Yep.
You just want to stuff the stats with scoring. You don't want to defend guys.
Right. Yes.
Rebound.
You take your time
LeBron
off.
is a jack of all trades. Assists, rebounding, scoring, brings the ball up, blocks.
Yep.
This player shouldn't be mentioned in any with anybody else. Unless you could do all of that.
I almost feel bad because you got James Harden, you got Chris Paul, and now you got Carmelo Anthony. Chris Paul and Carmelo Anthony, obviously, it's been reported forever how close they are.
Yep.
I hope this doesn't damage their friendship because it has the potential to do so.
Yeah.
You already got, James Harden.
It's his crew.
It's his team.
It's his crew.
Exactly.
You see how many times he shoots?
It's his, exactly.
Now, can a guy with Carmelo's attitude, can he stand for that? Because he was with Westbrook. Westbrook wasn't giving nothing.
Right.
And then the towel goes over his head.
Right.
You see?
Right.
It's coming soon. This year. It's coming.
He don't know to how to be a role player because he can't accept the fact that he's not the man anymore. But you know what's funny? He never played like the man. Because a man is the winner. Right. And he ain't never been a winner.
His thing is putting the ball in the basket. That's it.
But
not defending.
But
I seen him at the Garden. Olay.
Yeah.
The Olay style.
That's right.
And act like you playing D.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Because defense is a desire.
That's right.
Yo, I gotta be like, I'm moving my hips, I'm stopping you.
Yes.
You got a desire to do
Yes.
that.
That's right.
That's
Same with rebounding.
Yeah.
You gotta want it.
Yeah.
But let me touch on I think the reason why the New York Knicks at that time mortgaged the franchise for Melo.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's the Big Apple, and this is about business.
Right.
He's a star name.
Right.
There's a lot of suits in the Garden that don't know they're not the nitty gritty fan like we are.
Right.
Like we know the game.
Right.
We're actually in it. We of it. We know that he ain't playing D. There's a lot of suits up there just drinking cocktails.
Right.
Let's be real. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
They dress up the Garden real pretty with all these people and some celebrities. And I'm not hating, man. You know what I mean? If you need an extra person up there, I'm in there. But the point being, I'm just saying,
right.
is that he's a name, he's a big name at that time. And unbeknownst to them, he's not a winner, but he's a name. So that brings credibility.
The Garden has been a destination for tourists, no matter who was on
That's a
it.
good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Forever.
That's a tourist.
The world's most famous arena.
That's
Right.
right.
Yeah.
And so, but to your point, that's probably what James Dolan was thinking. Like,
Yeah,
damn,
I'm sure.
our
Business
numbers was looking kind of
Marquee name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
I
I've
agree.
been there where it's trash. The whole squad is trash.
Yeah.
Right.
And that thing was packed out.
Yeah.
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 So
It's
it's
always sold out.
And you're talking about a global audience.
Yeah.
People buy packages overseas. I know people in Argentina right now. They're like, yo, we watch the Knicks.
That's crazy.
They find a way to watch the Knicks.
Right.
That's crazy, man.
Satellite.
It's
It's
global.
nuts.
It's global.
So sticking with the NBA,
Okay.
you and I had a conversation
Yep.
when I first met you at your crib, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I won't ever forget that conversation because you had like a hidden agenda. It wasn't that diabolical or devious, but it was very thoughtful in the way you portrayed it. So, you asked me a very simple question. Who are your top 3 ever in the NBA?
I love that.
Now, I have to give, I guess, a disclaimer. I'm a devout Charles Oakley loyalist.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you said that, I was
And
like,
so,
what?
So
and
this is
so
going
my
south.
answer,
This is going south.
my answer, and obviously this is not what you're asking, but I always talk about Charles Oakley like he is the greatest player in the world. Not because he actually is statistically, but because the heart, the grit, and the grind of that man.
He's a favorite.
He's the New York Knicks.
He's a favorite.
I'm
Yeah.
sure there are
Like
others.
John Starks.
But
Yeah.
the guy was just, I don't know. I fell in love with basketball because of
The
him.
way he played it, right?
He would stop at nothing to get that rebound or to box out or to
and
do what he
defend
needs to do.
teammates.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
So I want you, I guess, why don't you ask Emilio? I don't think he's had that conversation with you. Have that dialogue.
Who is your top 3 NBA players of all time?
Yo, so I heard your answers.
I told you?
Yeah, all right. So I loved your answers. I'm gonna give you mine. I never thought about this answer before, but I love the fact that you mentioned Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna swipe that from you. I'm gonna change one out because I'm not ready to give it to the king yet.
Okay.
I'm just not ready. I will say Kareem, MJ, and I'm gonna have to go with Bill Russell.
No.
Oh, hell no. How?
No.
Just because he won a lot of championships?
Can I say something to you?
But
I need some rationale because that's a little.
All right. Well, I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna explain why I say what I'm saying. Again, keep this in mind. We gotta keep in mind with errors. Right?
Got it.
Stay true to that. I know it's difficult because we're coming from 2018 and the man played in the 50s. You know, I get it. I think of who changed the game. Like, all these players changed the game. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Scott Hook changed the game. Michael Jordan's favorite changed the game. Bill Russell, it was at a time when he was blocking shots. People wasn't dunking. You understand? He changed the game, the way the rules are played. He changed the game. There's not just because he's talented. Mm-hmm. He controlled the game, period. You understand?
Okay.
He dominated the game. You don't win 11 championships just cause. I don't care if you win 11 championships. Let me tell you something. I'm telling you, boys and girls, I don't care if you win 11 championships in middle school, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or in high school, you know what I'm saying? It's not easy. Right or wrong?
No, you're right.
It's not easy.
You're right.
I don't care if we playing right now. I don't know if I can win 11 straight on you right now. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you. Now, let me say one more thing.
Yeah,
Now, when he was playing, when he started,
okay,
they segregated a lot of a percentage of the population who's proven to be the best at this game wasn't in the league because they couldn't play. So he wasn't playing against his peers early on.
Okay.
Because they didn't allow black people. There was like a few cats in there.
Right.
So you win the championships against these insurance salesmen and all that. I reject a lot of those championships, B. That doesn't count. I'm sorry. Some of them championships, you gotta have an asterisk next to that. Because they didn't allow black folks in. So you're not playing against the cats around your way who's crazy nice. You playing against dudes that, like I said, insurance salesmen. Go look at the footage. Go look at it. He's the only black dude on the court.
Yo, you're right though. I'm just thinking about like the haircuts.
Yeah.
You just put a briefcase on him and they straight.
I'm saying, I'm not taking it away from him. He's nice. He won champ, but when you were playing, they didn't allow black people to play a lot. You were like one of 3 of them.
Right.
So we can't, if we're not playing against the best, how I'm gonna judge you?
Let me just. I love your point. I love your point, especially in the beginning of his career. I agree. 100%.
Yeah, you gotta give me.
But I want to say this to you, to both of you. He played against Wilt Chamberlain
toward the end, which had a Hall of Fame team. Right? These guys with Jerry West, he did his thing.
Not Havlicek, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think Havlicek. Yep. I'm forgetting names right now, the small forward. The point is that team was legendary.
Yeah, they did good.
And with that said, Wilt Chamberlain, I looked it up. Wilt Chamberlain was putting up like 25 points and 25 rebounds. All right? It was insane.
Incredible.
But the Celtics were dominating them. And I'm talking about winning as far as like the series, winning the championships, etc. I want to say the Lakers won 1 championship versus 4.
Right.
Don't quote me on that. The point being is, like you said about LeBron James.
No, don't worry about quoting. We're with the king of no fact checking.
No fact checking.
We probably gonna have to start borrowing that.
No fact
I don't want to be fact checking.
Yeah, no, we ain't doing that.
No, I want to take that last line he said about what we said
insurance salesman.
Yeah, we gotta had to take that shit.
Yo, but I'm saying you gotta that cannot be left out. That has to be factored in.
I do.
And then people leave it out. I don't leave that out.
Let me ask you this. So when he played Will, what was his stat line looking like?
So I want to say it was in the same, with the exception of rebounds, wasn't as high. It was probably, I want to say it was like, probably both had 20 something. He probably had 18 to Wilt's 25 rebounds.
Got it.
In that ballpark.
But the points were all the same.
At that time they weren't considering blocks. Like that wasn't actual factored in. Yeah, it wasn't a stat at that time.
And the shot clock wasn't there either.
And the shot clocks. So there's a lot. So you would figure he was probably up there in blocks too, because he's the man kind of invented blocking, so to speak. Like people, it was like a phenomenon at that time.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, this guy just did that. Like, what do we do with that? You know what I mean? Again, I respect what you're saying, and again, this is another thing I had to do, because I used to get heated arguments with a cousin of mine who, like, we just be like this was our thing.
Right.
You know, we talked off air about talking basketball was the thing you did with your friends, and it turned into a podcast. But George Mikan was a guy that I used to play in the early stages. Like, I want to say in the cutoff between when Bill was starting out.
I think that was like the 40s?
Yeah.
Right, but
40s,
they did like meet.
Overlap, yeah.
It was an overlap there. So George Mikan at that time, kind of like the I want to say the poor man's Kareem as far as hook shots. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just a poor man, you know what I mean? But at that time, he was a heavyweight at that moment.
Right.
They did match up, and again, Bill Russell he was overtaking whatever was in front of him. Granted, I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying he played against everybody. I liken that to Jackie Robinson when he came in. He wasn't, all his peers weren't playing because they had I get it.
Right.
I get it. But at the same time, you can't undo what's been done.
I know. I'm saying I'm giving
you gotta play. Yeah. You gotta play what's in front of you.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? And I just feel like, again, I go back to, you win 11 championships and you the star player. I don't care if you play in kindergarten. I don't care if you play in the rec league.
Nah.
I don't care if you playing.
The competition. You good as that competition, right?
But you.
It's true.
That's what I'm saying. If they are discriminating and not letting a segment of the population play,
I respect that.
Yo, I gotta judge you on that, man.
So
we cannot just leave that out.
I respect that. Damn, it's unfair. What are we doing with those? So we're gonna throw away those 11?
I'm not. I'm giving them the championships.
How many championships? Because you said I like what you said.
Asterisk, yo.
But how many you taking away? How many you taking away?
Well, we gotta see when it started, and we gotta look at the makeup.
Oh, we're gonna have him back on the show.
You gotta look at the makeup
on the show, because this is not unfinished. Unfinished business.
All right, let's do it, man.
It's ridiculous, man.
Now,
my man Bill, I hope you're still alive, man. I want you on the show too.
Let's get you, because we didn't get you.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, let's go on yours.
Kareem, MJ, LeBron James.
In that order?
It could be Michael Jordan #1 because of the economics he brought into it. Basically, he brought the sneaker culture into the fore. Mm-hmm. So for that, with the economics and making the game a global game, that would put him over Kareem.
Okay.
So you could go MJ, Kareem, LeBron James. That's it.
Hey, I mean, you're bringing in factors outside of the game of basketball, but I think they're relevant because it impacts the game.
Exactly. It propels the game.
That's true.
So you are #1 because of that.
Right.
Yeah, you ushered it.
Right. That propels you upward.
But even and just to kind of tie it back to the podcast a little bit, like the cultural significance also is substantial because now you've evolved the game. You just him on his own on the court. You've now taken the game global. You've ushered in the advent of sneakers in a major way.
Yeah.
And now when you turn around, I mean, the sneaker deals are insane.
Based on him.
Right.
And he's still one of the few that has his own brand.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not that many of them.
In the game of basketball, he's #1. And the economics and what he's done puts him over Kareem.
Yeah, I see that.
You see what I'm saying? Like, because all that mixed in, Kareem didn't do all that.
Right.
Yeah.
You #1. Kareem got all the points and he's, nice and everything as far as like the basketball, but you didn't bring in sneaker culture.
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't have all the ill commercials.
Right.
Michael Jordan.
I do respect that. I do, again.
Oh, yeah, you picked.
I picked Bill Russell, Kareem, and Jordan. But no. But listen, let me listen.
You want to rethink Bill Russell?
I don't.
I said Charles Oakley, LeBron.
Yeah, but we are.
So I know off top I'm out the game.
Yeah.
Once you said, cats be like, what are you talking about?
I know, but
But that's a favorite.
I'm not. But listen, you know what? And let me be fair about two things. First of all, is the big man, right? The marketability that Jordan had was his airness. He had already an aura about him, like that was like defied humanity, man.
He
like
Dr. J.
he was walking in the air. He was doing things that I still don't understand what I'm seeing. I still can't. I look on YouTube, I don't understand what's going on in this picture. He's gliding. So he had this thing about him. He had a pizzazz, a charisma about him, a confidence about him. All these factors about him that, on top of that, he backed it up on the court. And he dumped it on your face if you didn't like the shit. He was talking.
Yeah.
Not too many people have that kind of like that bravado. Right. So I respect everything you said. I think he deserves that. And I actually, until you brought that up, stat for stat, I was like, yo, why is Kareem not being mentioned here?
Right.
Because I was like, yo, Kareem has, but now, let me factor in the big man. Now, 7-footer, you're not going to be as agile. So we expect big men to be big and doofy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I done been called that when I was a kid. You know, he's doofy ass, you know.
Oh, that's what I said when I saw you.
I don't know why I'm throwing out vomit.
Wait,
can I take that back?
We didn't talk about Jim Butler yet.
Okay.
And we're getting to the end of this because I don't want to keep you out too late.
Because I got to bounce soon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think you heard my thoughts on what that looks like, especially when it comes to the New York Knicks. I hope he goes to the Nets. I'm okay him going to Brooklyn. No disrespect to the Brooklyn Knights, but yo, take him.
All right. Where does he want to go? I'm not privy.
It sounds like the teams that he mentioned were the Clippers, New York Knicks, and the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. But supposedly there's a bunch of teams trying to jump in and figure something out. I can't go through. I don't think Steve Mills and Scott Perry are going to make the bonehead play and give away choice pieces.
Nah. They already done that. They already went down that road.
Yeah, trying to do
that. Right.
The worst that I can see happening is some sort of deal with Courtney Lee, but I don't think that's going to be enough for something to pop off. Like, if it's one of those situations where we're not giving up much to anything at all, yeah, we'll take them.
Right.
But I'm more interested in building a chemistry with relatively young pieces that will hopefully look something like what Golden State was able to do.
Yeah, I hope so because, Golden State looks like this is going to be happening for a long time.
Yeah, this is and
LeBron is in the mix now, so based on the history, they might be in the finals.
Right.
Based on history.
I don't think so, but you can't count them out.
9 straight. So based on the history, this cat either Western Conference Finals or the big thing.
Yeah, the big game.
This dude brought me, you, and 2 other cats to the finals.
I never looked at it like that.
Man,
You're
I can shoot though, man.
Right?
You're right.
So, all right, so what? We're still going to the finals. Whatever you can do, it doesn't matter.
Hey, I'm a hell of a water boy.
Right.
I'm a hell of a water boy.
Think about that. He lost Kyrie. Kyrie ain't going to the finals. He got hurt, but
he wasn't there, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Kyrie ain't there. Means nothing. That dude is special, man.
I agree.
And the cats don't want to give him that
I agree with
because they don't like him personally for whatever reason. But as a hooper, if you play ball, you know this dude, you know how hard it is just to rock one position,
Yeah.
To be leader in assists, leader in blocks, leader in scoring on the same team, People don't want to acknowledge that. That's because you don't really understand how hard it is.
Yeah, to dominate like that.
And you probably never played.
No.
Yeah.
It's hard. That game is like, a point guard like, I'm distributing. These other cats can do it. This dude like, I'll do that, and that, and that. You just help a little. Right. We'll get to the finals. You haven't seen somebody like that?
Never.
No. You're right. And if that's what you want to do with top 3, I respect that.
I'm going to sway this cat.
Wait. Let's close.
I'm not taking Bill.
Jimmy Butler. What's your take? And then I want your take.
All right.
He wants to be traded, right?
Yeah.
His contract is up?
That's the rumor, yeah.
His contract's up next year, but he wants out now.
Right.
Oh, he wants out now.
He wants out.
He's in Minnesota.
The rumor is him and Big Cat aren't getting along.
And Andrew
Wiggins. He doesn't like the way they carry themselves. He's more like, I guess, in demeanor and the way he loves the game, an old school mentality. He thinks that these cats are
Not
really about the game.
About winning.
Well, okay, if management is going to trade you, then they'll do it. But what if they don't?
Right.
You got to play it out. It's your profession. It's your job. Get out there and do your thing. You like basketball, right? F these guys, man.
But do you think management would risk having a cancerous relationship with arguably the superstars of the team?
If I was the management, all right, you know, we're gonna shuttle you out because
Right.
I don't want
You don't
it
want
to
that.
implode right now.
Right.
So, I would do it if I'm the management and the money. I'm like, okay, but I don't want the team to go downhill.
Right.
So we're gonna send you to where you want to go.
What's your prediction, though? 3 teams: Clippers, Nets, Knicks.
Clippers suck now, right? Everybody's gone.
Yeah, they don't really have much.
Nets.
You think Nets?
Come to BK because the
That'd be
Knicks.
big for the
history of
state.
the Knicks is like, he's gonna if he comes here,
Yeah.
his talent level gonna go downhill,
Tank City.
right? Just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Stoudemire, he comes here, he breaks his leg, right?
Yo, I'm laughing not to cry.
Right. Think about everybody that came in and boom, go downhill. So I don't want that history for this dude. Go to the Nets, go to BK, see what happens, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he has a shot. Although I love David Fizdale, I think Kenny Atkinson may not be a bad deal for him.
Look, Carmelo came here. He ruined the chemistry between Jeremy Lin and Stoudemire and these dudes.
Yeah.
They were rocking, right?
Yeah, they were
with
rocking.
Who's that? Felton with that pick and roll.
Yeah.
They was rocking.
Yeah.
Carmelo comes. That's it.
That's it.
Ruined it.
Yep.
A cancer.
Yep. I agree.
How about you?
So as far as
Prediction.
Jimmy, I look at Jimmy Butler's situation like Kawhi Leonard. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kawhi. He was in San Antonio, ended up in Toronto. So I think he does get moved. I don't think the Knicks or the Nets get him.
You think it's Clippers?
I think it might be the Clippers. Out of those 3, because the Nets already went through something similar where they mortgaged the franchise with Kevin KG. They're already coming out of. They still got that cloud.
Boston's still
that
winning
cloud
for
is
them.
still
They
over.
never even made the play. Did they make the playoffs?
Nah, they haven't.
With them 3?
Nah.
Nah, I don't
That was
think
a
they-
99-cent big 3.
So exactly.
They didn't even make the playoffs. What kind of big 3 is that? And he's like, remember the press conference? Like, we're going to do all this?
They did nothing. So they're not. Well, like, what else do you have? Like, you already mortgaged everything. So they even if they are interested, they might be interested in free agency next year. But this year, to give up even one player, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
The Knicks also, like, they just got a rookie. Like, you're not in no position to be like mortgaging anything. You need some credibility with people that actually follow the game, like yourself.
Yeah.
Which they've already alienated a lot of true New York Knicks fans, right?
Yeah, you got to get a team. It doesn't, like, they had Carmelo, they had Stoudemire. You have to have a team. You can't just have, they bring in one marquee guy and think, we're going to be, nah.
Right.
Look at Golden State.
Right.
Even though all them dudes is nice, but that ball flies around the court
That's
and
right.
hardly hits the ground.
That's right.
Because cats know how to play.
That's right.
Carmelo, I'll dribble until the shot clock goes down and I have to shoot.
Yeah, 7 seconds left.
Sorry.
What was
Or the
me?
jump pass. Then you like,
I just want to say this because he brought up the big 3 a lot today. We're gonna challenge your ass to a 3-on-3 game.
Yo, like I said on my podcast, just give me some time to get in shape.
How much I need?
I need about 2 months, yo.
Damn! Yeah, yo, get up, yo.
Yo, come on, man. I'm 49.
I'm sure
man.
there's a gym in here somewhere.
Yo, give me about 2 months to run some 3-man so I don't get that pain in my gut, like Richard Pryor said, where it just stops you.
All right, we're gonna give you your time. We're gonna give you all the time you need.
Word.
All right. Well, Moody, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being
time
here,
for
man.
us.
I really
Yes, man.
appreciate
Thank you,
that.
man. I really appreciate this,
Thank
man.
you,
I
man.
love it.
Yeah, man. It was
So,
good.
we're gonna put this out, and I fully expect to get bombarded by the Moody fan base.
No, sorry, pardon left.
Yeah, man. Yo, put it out. We're gonna play ball.
No,
too.
no. I just want to say this. I want you to plug in your podcast for our viewers
Yeah,
who
and
may
where
not
they
be
can
privy
reach you.
about your podcast. As far
Okay,
as yours.
I am Rapaport Podcast. We've been rocking for 4.5 years. You can check us out on all platforms, iTunes, all of them.
Google Play, the whole nine.
Yeah, and my podcast is coming up
Okay.
shortly. I'm not making no announcements. or
Okay,
anything,
okay,
but
okay.
We still in the works with that.
Dope.
So
Is that an exclusive?
yeah, I'm giving y'all exclusive. Yeah, yeah.
Wow, the first time ever, first time.
It's called This, That, and the Third with G Moody.
Really?
Word up, yeah.
Ah, shit, man. Yo,
It's gonna be fly.
that's what's up, man. I hope
Dribble and Dimes is recorded on location at the Renaissance Youth Center in the Bronx. For more information on the center and all the amazing things it does for the youth of the Bronx, please visit www.renaissanceyouth.org. Check us out on social media as well. We're live on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On all platforms, you can find us at DRIBBLENDIMES. Thank you for listening to this episode of Dribble and Dimes. If you like what you heard, please leave a review or comment wherever you're listening to us now.